In this video, I plan to pick up where I left off with pattern paper and also show you my collection of scissors. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I have my 12 by 12 sheet from my Martha Stewart collection, and I wanted to show you how I cut this up. If we are making just A2 size cards, I would cut down my pattern paper to 5 1/4 by 4, or if I was making 5 by 7 cards, I would want to cut my paper down to 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. Now, this is directional, but you can do it either way you want. If it's straight up and down, I would go to the 4 first. I would cut portrait first, and then my 5 1/4. Now I'm going to cut up the entire piece of paper, and I suggest you do that too, because a lot of people are just gun shy. They don't want to cut into it because it's so pretty, and I get that. But if we love it, we want to use it, right? So there's my 4, and there's my 5 1/4. Now you do have to make sure you get rid of any edges. Some papers, like this one, do have this little ridge. I don't know if you can see that. Now the secret here, okay, and this is just barely 4. You could get away with that because it's not even 1/8 of an inch difference. So we've got our 4 and then 5 1/4. And I'll show you. So this is the 5 1/4. This is how many pieces you can get out of one sheet of 12 by 12. So here's the 2 pieces. Like I said, there's a couple of pieces that are just a little bit smaller. And you can cut these down specifically if you want to do something different, like let's do a diagonal. You want to line that up. If you can see, let's see that? Line it up, corner to corner. There you have. You can do 2 different cards with that. Or you can do either variation of pieces, 2, or you can do, say, let's do a 3 and a 2. And you can put this piece here and do a different piece up here. There's all kinds of things you can do. But the easiest by far is to just cut either 5 1/4 by 4 for an A2 size card, or a 6 1/4 by 4 3/4 if you're doing an A7, the bigger card like this. And then of course you can go down further. Remember what we were talking about before, and I will put that at the end of this video. You can go down to, okay, this is just that little edge, little bitty edge, 1/8 of an inch edge. So you can cut it down further. Remember, we go by 1/4 inch increments. So if this was 5 1/4, we can go 5 by 3 3/4. And that would fit if we wanted to put cardstock at 5 1/4. If we wanted to do the cardstock at 5 1/4 by 4, then we could put this in the middle. Okay, let's go ahead and cut some 5 by 7 size, okay? Of course, you will get less. Okay, so we want to cut, and this is an all over print, so we don't need to worry about which way. So let's do 6 1/4. Can you see? Okay, 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. Six 1/4 by 4 3/4. So you're going to have some smaller strips, and I'll also show you later that you can decorate the inside of the card with a strip like that. So there's 2 pieces. That's 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. Oops, let's see. This isn't going to be big enough, is it? Nope, that's not going to be big enough. So we got 3 out of that. And I probably could have cut it different and gotten more. But like I said, I don't do 5 by 7 cards very often. And we could cut this down to 5 1/4 by 4. And that would match nicely too, wouldn't it? Okay, so there's my part B on the pattern paper. And now to show you the scissors. These are all my different scissors. I kind of would lose one and buy something else. These are just, I bought these as a set of 3 from Amazon. I don't know where there's a middle one somewhere. And these are the small little snips. And this is my newest one I got free when I did an order from scrapbook.com. So it's very sharp and brand new. It's not sticky or anything. I have a bad tendency not to clean my scissors, but a little alcohol will go a long way and get rid of the sticky. You can see. But these are good for what we call fussy cutting, which if you don't have dies for something, you can cut it out, and I will show you that later in another video. And this is the Big Daddy. These are the big long ones. And these work well if you don't want to, say for instance, you're cutting a piece of paper. And of course you stop right here because you have to go like that. And that's not so bad, obviously. We've been doing it for generations. But this one, you can go a lot further, and it's long enough that you can actually cut. Let's measure it. You can actually cut 6 inches. And so you could easily cut a piece of cardstock for your card, not the card base necessarily, but one of the mats. Okay, so there's these scissors. And the really fun ones are here. They are my decorative scissors. I was given these from one of my crafting friends who has since passed away, and she gave me a lot of things, including a die cut machine, which we'll talk about later in another video, and these scissors. Now these will make different cuts, and I will show you those. There's all different. I'm sure there's just no end to the different kinds, but these are the ones I have. And let me show you how they cut. There's that one, the wavy, and then we've got that one. That's kind of cute. I don't use these near as much as I could, and this is just jabby like that. And then you've got, that's kind of cool. And this one. And last but not least, one. The advantage to this is say if I was making a sentiment strip, which is the piece that I would put on the front of the card and then stamp on. That will be in an upcoming video. I can either stamp first and then cut, see that little hesitation there. That's something you have to work out. With this, you don't need punches or dies, or there is a trimmer that can do that. You just kind of dial and you get a decorative edge, but I don't have that. But so there's an example of how you can, and then you stamp your sentiment in there. I know it's not exact, but for demonstration purposes. So there we have it. All my scissors, and I do keep them on little pegs on the cart I have, and I will show you a picture of that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you again for joining me, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.